Hello and welcome back to another edition of Coach's Corner on the Riverhawk Sports Network. Today it is my pleasure to host head men's rugby coach Jonathan Niles. How are we doing, Coach?
I'm doing great, Mike.
So I understand that your team took a trip to Scotland and Northern England, correct, in the preseason. Tell me how it is training your team in an area where rugby has such a proud tradition.
Yeah, so we had 12 of our players as part of their GO program arrange a trip to Northern England, Manchester and Newcastle, and then parts of Scotland, Glasgow, and Edinburgh as part of their GO trip, where they worked with professional rugby teams and the academies at those professional rugby teams, and then also did a lot of cross-cultural experience staying and working in those areas. One of the players even refereed while he was over there. And the training that they've brought back and the professional training that they've brought back is going to take our team to the next level. There's all sorts of new things that they're bringing back that I'm learning from, and just being immersed in that professional type of atmosphere for almost 4 weeks is going to be very valuable to our team.
Yeah, whenever you can get a different perspective on a sport, it's always a good thing.
Yeah, I wish I had been able to go.
Yeah. So now, despite technically being a club sport, rugby is very much a staple of Susquehanna University. So now, after you guys have made numerous national tournament appearances, how have you and your players built that culture year in, year out?
You hit upon the right words, culture. So there's a team culture around us and the high expectations. The players hold themselves accountable to get in the gym, to train like varsity athletes. We train 5 days a week. We play on Saturdays. Doing all the little things it takes to get better. And that's what's bred our success, is the team culture. Success breeds success. Players want to participate and be part of it. Other athletes want to be part of it. So,
how important is it for your players off the field to contribute as far as a recruiting standpoint goes?
Actually, it's been a lot. We've had some really good success the last week. We had a recruitment camp and clinic that we ran in combination with the women's team. There was 27 people that came out for that, just to give rugby a try on a Wednesday afternoon. And a large number of those players have stuck for the last week or so. In addition, we recruited high school tournaments, and we had 3 of the players went down to a high school tournament on Sunday and recruited along with a couple of alumni. So
the presence of the players is big when you travel around looking for players?
Yes, especially if they go back to if they played in high school, going back to their home club and recruiting, underclassmen from their home club to come check out Susquehanna and give it a look. Getting somebody coming in with rugby experience makes all the difference at our level. We don't have to teach them much of the basics; they already know it, and they can integrate very, very quickly into the team.
I understand that you have a handful of graduating players that leave big gaps upon their departure, including a few selected to the All-American team. How have the returners been filling those gaps so far this season?
Yeah, so last year's senior class was a big class. Raheem Powell was an All-American for the entirety of USA Rugby, one of 83 in the entire country, and one of 5 from our division to be selected. And he was a 4-year starter and huge presence on the field. But we have 7 seniors that we expect to contribute big time this year. They've been in the program for three years now. They're going to lead this team down the road. We've got a veteran presence in our back line, and we have a rising All-American in Adam Morrow in the back line as well. But we have guys that have played rugby before and played it at a high level that are contributing. And we've got some really great talent, I think, coming along with our developmental side of these new guys that have come out in the last week.
That's great. So do you ever get a surprise walk on maybe like halfway through the season, kid comes on, turns out to be a big contributor?
Yeah, so randomly, sometimes we get students that come out in October. They may have got either quit a sport, a varsity sport, or just found us randomly. And they may come on very, very quickly. A good example of that was Isaiah Young-Burke a couple years ago, came on halfway through our season and contributed for 2 years. The last year, we got some good speed in the back line. Andrew Snyder came to the team last year, and he was a 7s contributor all of last spring. And we get guys that come out even in November that contribute to the team for the last little bit of playoff run. So everybody matters when they come out.
So you brought up sevens there. This fall you play more traditional 15v15 style of rugby. In the spring you shift to sevens. How different is the practice and training that goes into playing a game with half as many players?
So you wouldn't think that having 7 players on a field makes a big difference versus 15s, but the 15s game is 40-minute halves, so an 80-minute game, more built for the bigger players. But there's in sevens, it's 7 guys on the field for 7-minute halves, and it's essentially a series of sprints and short bursts of energy. So it breeds a different style of rugby, so a little bit different as far as training is concerned, much more continual motion. And we've really excelled because we've got a lot of small, quick athletes that can be really, really great sevens players, and that's helped contribute to our success in sevens the last 7 years.
So you talk about sprinting and lifting and changing play styles. How do you keep your guys motivated every single year to improve on the season before? Because every single year it seems like you're making it to regionals, nationals. How do you keep motivated?
I think they get motivated because of one another. We've had some success at the national level. We finished third a couple years ago in sevens. Last year we finished fifth. And so the big thing for them at nationals is not just getting there for sevens anymore. It's trying to make the semifinals and play in the stadium on Sunday, try and play for that national championship. In 15s, we've had some great success locally and regionally, but every year we seem to run into a team that is just a little tiny bit better, and that team always seems to go into the national championship or Final Four.
So it was the other guys, right?
It's yeah.
So what can we expect to see from the Riverhawks this upcoming season? I know with every year there's new players. You said you graduated a lot of players. So does the team look a tad different years past, or is every year does the team have those same maybe body type of players or same speed?
In the past, we've struggled for some bigger bodies, but this year we've gotten some good big bodies out, and they can open up gaps in the middle of the field, and then allow our speed and skill players on the outside to exploit holes. I think our biggest challenge this year will probably be Bucknell, as in years past. Last weekend they opened the season and they scored over 70 points. So. That'll be a test for us every year. And then when we can make playoffs, we may run into Catholic or Loyola out of Maryland, and they are well-skilled, big bodies, and they have a great program at those schools. So I have a feeling we'll make playoffs without a problem this year, but it's what we do from beyond that and how the players train themselves now and develop over the next 6 weeks, 8 weeks that is going to play that role as when we get to playoffs.
That's great. I'm excited to see what you guys are going to do. That will be it from Coach Niles and myself. Best of luck in your home opener this weekend to kick off another strong season at home. And see if you can get the ball rolling this year.
Yeah, we play Newman University Saturday at 2 o'clock here at Susquehanna's rugby pitch.